back again on another episode of Educator. As always, I'm your host, Jeremy Robinson. Today we have somebody special. Go ahead and introduce yourself, man.
How y'all doing? It's your boy here, Willing&Able here, back with another one. Hey, my name is Bryant. I'm from Forts Valley, Georgia. I have my own podcast called The Willing&Able Show. I would show you my logo, but for some reason I lost the picture, guys. But I have a podcast called The Willing&Able Show where I interview several people who doing stuff in the community, and I also do things that God lead me to talk about. So sometimes I do scriptures or just stories that God tell me, and I give life examples to people from my own experiences of life.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But yeah, that's me.
All right, cool, man. So in that, man, how are you doing, bro? How your week been?
I'm doing good, man. Week been kind of stressful, but God already took care of that, so I'm just waiting to show out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So in that, I would say, man, first off, tell me a little bit about what you just got out of, man, like a couple years back here now. Not even that many, couple years. Attending Edward Waters University. How was that experience?
The experience was amazing. Edward Waters will always be near and dear to me in my heart just because of the opportunity the university gave me. When I attended there, it was actually called college, and then like a year after I graduated, a couple months after I graduated, it became a university. But my story to Edward Waters is a unique one, and this is why it means so much to me. So, excuse me, I started off at another institution, and it ended up not working out for me. So I had to go to a community college for a year to boost my GPA up. And then I ended up going to Waters, and they gave me an opportunity. Once I went there, that school really, helped me become a man, because it taught me how to do stuff on my own, how to speak properly, how to, dress professionally and always handle your business. It also taught me that just because you're in a small university or just in a small town, you can always stand out. And the people there, like Dr. Zachary A. Faison, that's the president of the school, he's been a great mentor to me. I just look up to him in everything that he does, and I try to, set myself as him. I take a little something from him every time I see him speak, and every time I see him dress, I be like, okay, I got you. I'm gonna take a little bit of that and make it my own. But I also have met some great friends. They know who they are. Too many to name, man. But they know who they are, and they just been, wonderful. I had a chance to play in the band, the Triple Threat Marching Band. I played percussion, cymbals. And, shout out to Dr. Davis and the percussion instructor, Ricky Oglesby. They helped me out a lot, because being in the band really taught me how to keep going and keep pushing. I played the fraternity, Iota Theta Fraternity Incorporated. Shout out to the bros. And, it just taught me how to keep going. Yeah. So that's what Edward Waters meant to me.
That's amazing, man. I always love to hear HBCU, PWI, any stories, depending on what college you went to, but especially if it's HBCU, I always ask that, because, I mean, even when I went to go and do my stuff at my college at Clark Atlanta University, it was just an amazing experience. So in that, I would say, what pushed you to want to start the Willing&Able Show? What made you want to come into the podcasting world?
So what really started me doing the Willing&Able process is I had to find out who I was, first of all, because if I didn't find out who I was, I wouldn't be able to produce the content that, I do now. And, first of all, God. But I started off doing motivational videos on Instagram, because I used to give motivational, speeches to my friends and stuff when they was going through stuff. And my friend Benjamin J. King, he also has a podcast called The It Factor, not The It Factor, excuse me, That Faith Talk. I have a lot of friends doing podcasts, man. Sometimes I mix them up. But and I saw how he was doing it, and I was like, that's kind of cool. So, I took him. It took him telling me, hey, well, you should start a podcast. And I was reluctant at first. I was like, man, that's not my cup of tea. But, I got into it and I enjoyed it. And, I said, I haven't really used, help people out, help people get they or just somebody who got an inspirational message, or if God tell them, hey, to get on the show and speak, I gave them that platform, and I had several to come on the show. You've been one of them, and it's just amazing, like, sending the correct people who we want to send. And I just do it because growing up, and how it is, we grew up in the same city. It's not that much positivity going on. It's not that many positive role models. So I just want, like, a kid, say he in high school or middle school, on my video on YouTube, they can be like, wow, that's Mr. Bryant. He has his own podcast show, and they see all the people on here, and they be like, wow, if they can do it, I can do it too, coming from a small town or wherever they from. So I just want God to use it to help more people out.
Got you. I like that, man. I like that. And I would say, what is your it factor, man? Why you do what you do?
For the next generation. And the reason I say that is because, like I just stated, growing up, I didn't really have a role model until I got to college, to be honest with you. And I just want the kids to be like, okay, Mr. Bryant doing it, or William doing it. I can do this too, like I stated, because it's like a chain reaction. If they see one person doing it and they seeing it benefiting them, then they'll want to jump on the train. And I stated this in, I think, a previous podcast, where I was like, I was the first person in my college Wow, I was the first person in my family to graduate from college on my mom's side. And on my dad's side, it was my great uncle was the last person to graduate from college. So he skipped a lot of generations. And once I graduated, now my little brother and my cousin, and my little brother, they are going to college in the fall. And, I just think of, what if I didn't finish? I finished, so they see that, okay, William finished, then let me go ahead and do it. And, that's the next generation. Even though they a couple years younger than me, it's like, it can keep like a cycle. They kids can see it.
Right. That's how it's supposed
to. They friends can see it just go on. But yeah, that's the reason why I do what I do, really.
I like that. And that's how it's supposed to be. When it comes to college, bro, and like, even me with this show, bro, I do it because you get people and you're like, oh, dang, I like them, man. And you connect with them. And the biggest thing is, like, we're here to help people. We're here to make, that's the change that I look at every day. How have I helped Jeremy first, get myself right? But also, how many people have I helped this week, man? It can be the smallest thing, but the fact that you say that about, your brother and your cousin, your family members, man, everybody gonna see that, then the next people gonna come. So saying chain reaction, that's a good thing, man. That's amazing. That's very amazing. So then I would say, how is it you're being in your daily job, bro? Like being a school teacher. How is that, man? How is that?
I actually start next month, so I haven't started yet, but I can give you some experience of being a substitute, and I can tell you my journey of how I became, a teacher. I actually have an episode about it. Check it out. It's called My Teacher Testimony, so definitely check that out on my podcast. But just to sum it up, I was about to become a lawyer. I was about to go to law school and things of that nature. And once I graduated, that's all I was trying to do. I was trying to find a job. I couldn't find one. And then people around me was telling me, you should try, for a substitute teacher. I was like, I'm not finna go back to school after I just left school. So I was reluctant. I was like, no, I'm not finna do it. So it took for my brother to really, get on me and say, man, what you waiting on? It's a job. So, I applied, I got the job, and I started doing substitute work, and I fell in love with it. I thought I was like, okay, I'm just going to do it for like 2 months and then go somewhere else. I ain't going to lie to you, man. But I ended up enjoying it. Like, I love teachers there. They were some of my former teachers, and I love the principal, assistant principal, and I love the kids too, because they're the ones that really made me get up in the morning. At 5 a.m, I had to get up. I was ready because I was like, hey, I can help inspire somebody, life. And, just the scenarios some of the kids were going through. Like, I helped one kid pull his grades up and end up graduating and going on to the high school. So it's just like, if I can have an impact on that one kid, what if I became a full-time teacher and it just, kids will run, like, leave their classroom, run to the class I was subbing in, and just to hug me or just say, hey, Mr. Bryant, how you doing? I just had to speak. Try to sit in my classroom, and it just made me realize, I was meant for this. I kept getting confirmation from God that this is what I'm supposed to do. I'm excited about next month. I'm a little nervous. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I'm excited to see what God got in store for me with this teaching.
Gotcha. It's gonna be good, man. It's gonna be good. So, in that, what is one of your ultimate life goals?
Career goals or just in general?
So life, and I would say career.
Okay. My life is to be better than, I want my kids to not see some of the stuff I seen growing up.
Hold on real quick, bro.
Amazing.
All right, so you just get it back into that question. You straight.
So when it comes to my life goal, to be basically financially stable, and I know this cliche, but growing up, I did. It's amazing to be financially stable. That's something that I want to do. And my parents did a great job raising me. They did the best that they can do. It's just I want better for my kids. And I would like for me to be able to, go out and help people as much as I can. Spread the gospel and let God use me as He so see fit. When it comes to my career goals, I would like to either be a principal or a president of a college. That's my career goal. Because hey, why not shoot for the top? You go for the top. It need to be changes made. In the world. Why not get in that position to change it? So that's my ultimate goal, is to be one of those two. And like I said, my president of my college, Dr. Zachary A. Faison, played a vital role into that, because seeing him come from Atlanta, going to Albany State, and he is now a president. I'm like, he really was in my backyard, and if he can do it, I can do it too. So that's one of the main reasons why I would like to do that. And yeah, that's my two goals.
I like that, man. So yeah, my biggest thing too, man. So I have to ask you this. It's a question that I ask podcasters, man. Definitely, anybody that's in this media and social media world, how do be able to stay motivated? With the things that are coming your way, or like you may put a video out, you may not get this, like I may not get this. How do you let that validate you?
Be honest with you. When I first started this podcast, I messed up a lot. I didn't know what I was doing. And you helped me out a lot. And my friend Ben, as I said previously, he helped me out a lot. And at first I was trying to get views like crazy. And one day I was in church and my pastor was like, I don't care if it's 5 people in here, I'm still gonna preach like it's 30. And I was like, dang, that goes with me and my, podcast. It don't matter about the views and stuff like that, because God could have told me to make that podcast just for that one person, or it could just be for me, So that's how I stay motivated, is okay, whoever saw it, it was meant for me to see it. And it's on the internet, so it ain't like it disappeared after that one person watch it. Somebody else come on years later and watch it, and it still be like brand new to them, and they can still get what God told me to say. So, I just keep it like that, because like I said, it's for the next generation anyway. So, hey, I just leave it up there and let God do what He do with it, because at the end of the day, while we stressed about something we have no control over, that's how I just keep myself motivated. It's like, just keep going.
Sir, I like that, man. I like that. So, I would say, do you have any question for me?
Let me think. What made you want to interview me?
So to be honest, man, I like people. You brought me onto your show, and I was like, okay, we did a great job. But I like to give people their flowers what they do. It would be wrong for me to be building out my platform and not bring on somebody, not only just from hometown, but have some of the same ideals that I have, but also just the person that you are. I see the light in you, and I see that you're gonna go far with it if you believe in it. So why not bring you onto my podcast, man? So somebody can see this and say, not only just like you were posting your stuff, it's social. We live in a social media time today, and at the end of the day, I'm just a genuine person. So why not bring you on and say, hey, at the end of the day, we're gonna do a podcast. You never know what's gonna happen with it, to where people gonna say, oh, I need to go watch the episode with him on. I need to go watch, and it grows. That's what we're supposed to do. So that's why I brought you on here, man.
I like that. I like that. And we definitely need to stick together more, and do more episodes on, because like you said, we both do podcasts. It's no point of us not to do more episodes. So I like that. I like that.
Right. And also, I'm not in competition with nobody, man. I got asked that question a couple weeks ago. Someone was like, "Yeah, you do this. Yeah, big people on. You still do this." I'm like, "Look, man, the thing is always gonna set me different from the bigger podcasts or anything. Even when I keep going, is that I still believe in it more than the next person gonna believe it. Like I said on your show, man, I'm never gonna change that. Like, it's not gonna change. I don't care about. Oh man, you ain't see this person did this or you did this differently. At the end of the day, it's not a competition. you know.
All right. And one thing I like to add is, you mentioned on my podcast, and it kind of fits here. When you Sayer, shout to Sayer. He does an amazing job with the things he do as well. Definitely go check him out. But he was like, it's me versus me. And when you told me that, man, I went back, and thought about it. I was like, wow, it really is me versus me when you do anything. So if you want to be in competition, be in competition with yourself. I try to improve on myself, every day. And it was this quote I seen. He said, try to be 1% better each day. So that's what I've been trying to do with everything I do.
Yes, sir. And I live the 2%. I don't live 1%, but I live the 2% way. Like one of my guys, Myron Rowe, one of my guys I look up to, right? He played football. Now he's a neurologist. So that'll just tell you how it is. He got a book out. He's called the 2% Way. I haven't read it all, but just hearing from a podcast, I was just like, dang, I actually, without even reading this, without even seeing it, I actually picked that extra 1 or 2% in each day. Like I'm like, okay, I can do this different. I can be a better husband. I can be a better person. I can be a better family man. I can be a better podcast host and do things. So just always challenging yourself to be better. Because the only way that you can create change starts with you. And then another way that people miss out on, and that's something that I get, especially why I do the podcast, is to really make something change. It starts with you, of course. But at the end of the day, if you don't change you, then how you gonna help someone else?
Come on, man.
Yeah.
You got to start with you. Yeah. And I feel like that's what a lot of people are dealing with. They got to figure out. Like I told you, one of the questions you asked me is I had to figure out what I want to do first about me first before I help somebody. So I definitely feel like that's what a lot of people need to realize. Like, hey, we in this for us versus us, me versus me, nobody else. Because if you put your blinders on, you won't see what everybody else is doing. And my brother told me this yesterday. He was like, the ones who worried about you, look at them. They're in the same spot or they're nowhere near you because they so far behind. And the ones who you trying to get to, they ain't even noticing you because they focus on their goals and their goals only. So definitely try to just focus on your goals and your goals only.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And in time, if it's for you, God has it for you. It's going to come, in His time. So they're rushing to try to get those numbers. I know it for myself. Are rushing to try to get that validation from another person when you ain't got it from yourself, that's never going to equal success. And success is different for each and every person. Success for me is being able to get in my car, drive, do whatever I had to do today, and make it back home. That's a blessing that we don't look at. That's and it's very simple to people, but everybody don't make it home every day, and everybody don't wake up every morning. So
start preaching.
But yeah, man. I mean, at the end of the day, that's pretty much it, man. That's all I had. Thank you for coming on to the show, and I look forward to working with you, man, and talking to you soon.
All right. Thank you for having me. Again, my name is William Bryant. I have the Willing and Able Show. Definitely check it out. It's available on Instagram. It's available on Spotify and YouTube. So definitely check those videos out, and check out my boy channel as well, The Factor. And thank you again for having me, man.
No problem. I'll talk to you soon.